drown the world in a sea of silent tears. The clock is frozen on the moment of the fall. I'm screaming names that no one can recall. I tear the stars from the velvet of the sky, just to see the light returning to your eye. Across the river where the shadows come to play, I tell my spirit just to melt the frost away. Give me one more hour in the golden sun before the threads of destiny are spun. I will burn the heavens and the earth below to change the ending of the tale we know. One more heartbeat, one more breath to take, whatever price the ancient masters make. I am the wanderer on the edge of time, paying for the ghost of our forgotten crime. I've walked the catacombs of memory and pain, searching for the rhythm of your voice again. The 220 pulse is drumming in my chest, a frantic heartbeat that will never find its rest. I built a temple out of glass and broken bone to sit upon a cold and solitary throne. But power is a poison when the halls are bare, and I am suffocating in the stagnant air. Give me one more hour in the golden sun before the threads of destiny are spun. I would burn the heavens and the earth below to change the ending of the tale we know. One more heartbeat, one more breath to take, whatever price the ancient masters make. I am the wanderer on the edge of time, paying for the ghost of our forgotten crime. Break the seals and let the black rain pour. I am knocking on the forbidden door. Let the strings of sorrow wail into the night as I trade my vision for a spark of light. Gravity is failing as the vortex starts to spin. Let the ritual of the second life begin. Give me one more hour in the golden sun before the threads of destiny are spun. I would burn the heavens and the earth below to change the ending of the tale we know. One more heartbeat, one more breath to take, whatever price the ancient masters make. A wanderer on the edge of time, paying for the ghost of our forgotten crime. Returning to the dust, returning to the flame. Everything is lost except your sacred name. Fade into the grave, fade into the deep. One more chance to stay, one more soul to keep. Have grown. I lock the doors and hide the key to keep the ghost inside of me. A heavy weight behind my eyes reflect shield the light of distant stars. The pressure builds within my chest, a heart that never knows a rest. I drown the screams in velvet black and never dare to look back. Each drop of grief is turned to glass, watching all the seasons pass. In the silence of the vault I stay, can you hear the cracking of the stone in the dark where I am all alone? Every secret is a jagged blade in the sanctuary that I made. No one sees the fire in the ice, no one pays the heavy-handed price. I am the keeper of the hollow ground, where the lost and broken things are found. Let the silence take me whole, deep within this winter soul. Keep it buried deep inside, nowhere left for me to hide. Just the silence and the cold. Secrets that will never be told. Cathedral of bone, tracking the hours that I have spent standing alone. Silver threads weave through the velvet of midnight skies, while the reflection of you slowly fades from my eyes. Every heartbeat is a drum in a funeral march, walking through shadows beneath the cold marble. Time is a river that flows to a bottomless sea. The gargoyles weep in the pouring rain, a shadow stretch across the lane. I see your face in the broken glass, counting the ghosts of the years that pass. We used to walk where the lilies grow, before the winter began to snow. Now the clock is ticking a hollow beat upon the stones of this lonely street. I feel the cold in my very bones, a silent choir in monotone. I reach for you through the heavy mist to find the warmth that we both have missed. Stay with me before the light decays, to mend the bridge of our golden days. The iron gates are closing fast. Don't let this moment be our last, before the silence takes its hold and turns our stories into gold. I need to hear your voice once more before we reach the final shore. The velvet curtains are wearing thin, revealing all of the grief within. I held my pride like a jagged blade while all our memories began to fade. But life is shorter than a candle spark, a sudden flicker in the crushing dark, and I would crawl through the thorns and mire to pull our bond from the funeral pyre. No more secrets and no more lies beneath these gray and weeping skies. The ravens circle the ancient spire as I surrender my heart's desire. Stay with me before the light decays, to mend the bridge of our golden days. The iron gates are closing fast. Don't let this moment be our last, before the silence takes its hold and watch the ghost of every season pass. The candle flickers in the drafty hall, while shadows dance against the crumbling wall. I held the key within my trembling hand, but let it slide into the desert sand. Now every door is locked and turned to stone. In this cathedral where I sit alone, all the paths I didn't take are thorns today. They pierce the heart and turn the spirit gray. 1,000 suns have set behind the hill, while I remain so hollow and so still, lost in the silence of the might have been, a prisoner of the grief that lies within. I hear your voice within the winter wind, a bitter penance for the way I sinned against the future that was once so bright. Before I traded dawn for endless night, the ink is dry upon the unwritten page, a golden bird inside a rusted cage. I saw the crossroads in the morning mist and missed the beauty of the life I kissed. Oh, the paths I didn't take are thorns today. They pierce the heart and turn the spirit gray. 1,000 suns have set behind the hill, while I remain so hollow and so still, lost in the silence of the might have been, a prisoner of the grief that lies within. Burn the maps and tear the sails away. There is no vessel for the light of day. The anchors rust beneath the leaden sea, where all my failures come to drown with me. I am the architect of my own fall. Inside these ruins I can hear the call of every dream I strangled in the dark, a dying fire without a single spark. All the paths I didn't take are thorns today. They pierce the heart and turn the spirit gray. 1,000 suns have set behind the hill, while I remain so hollow and so still, lost in the silence of the might have been, a prisoner of the grief that lies within. Falling down into the deep, promises I could not keep, echoes of the Nevermore, washing up upon the shore. Fade to black and drift away, nothing left for me to say. A million moments that I let simply pass. The corridors of time are paved with bone of every silent seed I should have sown. I held the key but feared to turn the lock. Now I am tethered to this frozen rock. The bitter taste of salt upon my tongue, a dirge for all the songs I never sung. The fury of the doors I close, in the garden where the shadows grow. Every path I'm taking is a ghost that screams, burning down the fabric of my hollow dreams. It is the anger of the miscommand, slipping like a diamond through a trembling hand. I saw the lightning, but I chose the shade, afraid of every promise that was ever made. Now the reflection in the glass is old, a story of a coward that was never told. I see the faces of the lives I could have led. They gather round the edges of my lonely bed. With hollow eyes they mock my heavy heart, for tearing my own destiny completely apart. Oh, the fury of the doors I close, in the garden where the shadows grow. Every path I'm taking is a ghost that screams, burning down the fabric of my hollow dreams. It is the anger of the miscommand, slipping like a diamond through a trembling hand. Break the silence, let the thunder roll. The fire of regret is blacker than the coal. I am the architect of my own cage, writing out my sorrow on a bloodless page. With every heartbeat comes a new lament, for all the energy that was never spent. Oh, the fury of the doors I closed, in the garden where the shadows grow. Every path I'm taking is a ghost that screams, burning down the fabric of my hollow dreams. It is the anger of the miscommand, slipping like a diamond through a trembling hand. has bled into a dark and violet sea, and there is nothing left of you and nothing left of me. The candles flicker out against the rising gale. Your heartbeat is a whisper, fragile and so frail. We are the echoes in a hallway built of stone, learning how it feels to finally be truly alone. It's a heart's last goodbye in the pouring rain, a symphony of sorrow and a monument to pain. Let the Gothic bells toll for the love we used to hold before the fire turned to ash and the universe grew cold. Carry my spirit through the velvet veil of night until we fade forever from the reach of morning light. Break the chains of the divine, turn the water into wine. Let the iron strings lament for a lifetime poorly spent. Cry for mercy, cry for grace in this cold and hollowed space. It's a heart's last goodbye in the pouring rain, a symphony of sorrow and a monument to pain. Let the Gothic bells toll for the love we used to hold before the fire turned to ash and the universe grew cold. Carry my spirit through the velvet veil of night until we fade forever from the reach of morning light. Goodbye, my love, the dark is calling home through the iron gates where the lonely spirits roam. Fade to black and let the starlight die. This is the end, the heart's last goodbye. Forevermore in the silence.